Hey, you've probably told yourself, oh, I'll never be that powerhouse singer. This strain and this tension always gets in my way. I'll just let the other members of the band take the lead and, sing those solos. Like, I'm just going to stick in my comfort zone. You know that you were called to do more with your music. You know that there's a message that you are meant to share, but you just feel like, man, my voice always croaks up every single time when I need it most. Hey, my name's Isaiah. I'm a vocal coach, and my average student starts singing higher, pain, strain, and tension-free in as little as 2 weeks, and adds nearly a full octave to their vocal range in as little as 2 months. And in today's video, I'm going to show you a highly, highly effective 10-minute vocal warm-up routine that is going to virtually guarantee that pain, strain, and tension are a thing of the past in your singing so that you can build the solid, sustainable music career that you've always wanted. Okay, so for us to really effectively warm up our voice, we need to get a core understanding of what makes vocal warm-ups effective in the first place, or more importantly, as you're going to see here in a bit, what makes most of the vocal warm-ups you've likely been doing extremely ineffective and what are leading to the pain, the strain, the cracks, and the tension, and all those other different things that you're getting inside of your voice. So to really grasp this, think of your voice kind of like a bag of popcorn. When you're not getting any training, your voice is just, in its normal state. It's like that bag of popcorn just sitting on the kitchen counter doing absolutely nothing. Now, when you're attempting to do vocal warm-ups, we're taking that bag of popcorn and we're putting that bag inside of the microwave. And the thing is, we need to get that bag up to a certain temperature so that those popcorn kernels can really start popping, or so our voice can really start popping and start hitting those notes smooth like butter. But now the thing with popcorn though, is popcorn is only gonna pop if the internal temperature inside of that microwave gets up to, it's about 354 degrees, not 1 degree less. But now the problem with a lot of your traditional vocal warm-ups that you've probably done, the stuff like the do, re, mi, fa, sol, fa, mi, re, dos, or the lip buzzes like the and all those different things that your coach has taught you or you've seen scattered around YouTube, is none of them really quite warm up the voice enough or warm up the muscles inside of your voice to get the internal temperature of that popcorn to be as hot as it needs to be to get it to pop. Because like I said, if it's 354 degrees, if I set my microwave to 150 degrees, am I going to get the popcorn to pop? No, and it doesn't matter how long. Like if I have that thing sitting in there for 10 minutes, 30 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, I'm still not going to get the popping because we didn't turn up the intensity enough. And most traditional vocal exercises, you'll do them for however 20, 30, 40 minutes, an hour, 2 hours, 2 years. In fact, I've had some students, they literally did 2 years worth of vocal warm-ups and exercises but didn't see any growth, is because they were doing things that they weren't turning up the intensity inside of their voice so that that change can occur. And really, another way to kind of think about this is your voice is a muscle just like any other, and you can think of any principle that applies to working out and exercising and going to the gym also applies the same to your voice. And I kind of discovered this when I had one of my students come up to me and he said, Isaiah, I don't know why, but like for whatever reason, I notice anytime I come back from the gym, my voice sounds so freaking amazing. And it's like, I don't even have to do anything. It's so buttery smooth. There's no tension. There's no cracks. There's no strain. And what I then explained to him is, well, the reason why that's happening is because when you're physically moving your body and doing your lunges, your biceps curls, your bench presses, all those other different things, it's creating a state of deep movement in your voice, which is turning up the internal temperature in your voice and creating an environment where those muscles can have rapid growth, or rapid popping of those popcorn kernels. And really, as I started to go deeper into the science and just train myself more as a coach, I started to think, hey, what are some ways that I can take a lot of these gym principles that my students are seeing success with when they just naturally do a regular workout, but apply them to the voice in a quick 5 or 10 seconds so that they can get the results that they want. And that's where I discovered what are known as vocal anchors. And essentially what those are is they're quick 30, 60-second little exercises that you do with your voice to turn up that internal temperature when you are doing your warm-ups so that you actually get the growth, and that pain, strain, and tension just becomes a distant memory. So let's get into the first vocal anchor to really help you to build up your voice. So the first one is, simply put, doing any exercise until you are completely out of breath. And essentially what this is going to look like is we're going to just do a nice simple little la 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 la, back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until we are completely and totally out of air. So let's do a quick little demonstration here. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go. La 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 Okay, a few things I want to point out about that. You'll notice I did the la 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 back and forth and back and forth and back and forth until I was exhausted out of air. I didn't take a single breath in between. That is super, super, super important, because if you take a breath in between, back to our popcorn analogy, it's the equivalent of we're turning up the temperature in that microwave to that 354 degrees, but if we check on it every 5 seconds, are we going to get that popcorn to pop? No. And that's why in prior warm-ups you've done to where you might have went la 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 breath la, like all of those in between breaths, it's getting you in a state where maybe you were sustaining the temperature, the level of movement you needed in your voice, but you weren't doing it for a long enough period of time to really, really see the growth. And I know it seems so small, it seems so tiny, and it seems so insignificant, but it really, really is true that the number one thing, do you want to know what the number one thing is that separates a top-notch singer from just an average basic singer? Not much. The people that are singing better than you, singing the ways that you've always wanted to sing, having the music career you've always wanted to have, they're not doing tons and tons of stuff that is wildly different. They're just doing a few tiny, simple things just in slightly different ways than what you're doing, but it makes a massive, massive difference. Okay? So another example of where we can take this is we can do an exercise on a nice simple little octave slide until we are totally out of breath. And that would look a little something like this. So we could go on a nice simple little O, As you can see, I did that nice simple slide, not a single breath in between, and I was exhausted out of air. And I cannot emphasize this enough, because I've seen a common mistake people will make is they'll do this until they're just, I'm a little out of air. Like, you want to do it until you are completely and totally out of air. And even if, like, because towards the tail end, you heard me making it was almost a little crackly. That actually is a good thing, because it really shows that I'm pushing myself to my absolute limits. And believe it or not, you pushing yourself to the limit of, I'm doing this until I have like this little crack vocal fry type of sound. It's going to make the muscles in the voice get even stronger. Because also, back to how singing is similar to working out, if you go to the gym and you just bench press the same 50 pounds every single week, you're not going to see any growth. But if you push yourself past your limit and you try to bench press 60 pounds and it makes you a bit more tired and your muscles are real exhausted at the end, guess what? You're going to grow. And a big reason why you really haven't gotten the results you wanted in the past is, to be really honest with you, whatever lessons or training or coach you had, they weren't actually doing stuff that pushed you to make you actually grow as a singer. All right, so the next vocal anchor here is simply bending down while you are singing. And what this is going to do is it's going to truly help you to just kind of squeeze the last little itty bitty bit of toothpaste out of the tube of your voice whenever it is that you're trying to sing. So we're going to do very similar on a octave slide. We're going to go up, back and forth until we're totally out of breath. But this time, right when you feel like you only have just like 1 to 2 seconds of air left inside of you, we're going to do a nice, simple little bend down to really make sure that we're pushing ourselves and to make sure that the strain is releasing. Okay? So count of 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so with that, pointing out a few things, you'll notice up and down, back and forth until I was totally out of air, and we did that nice little bend down. And the thing is, you want to bend down like as far as you possibly can go, like as low as you can go, almost trying to touch your toes. And part of the reason why this works is because what we're doing is it's helping us to put our voice in a state to where it is virtually impossible for your voice to not grow and for the tension to not be released. Because once again, back to that popcorn analogy, if I put this popcorn bag in the microwave and the temperature is at 354 degrees that we need to get it to pop, there is nothing, absolutely nothing getting in our way that is going to stop that bag from popping, because we are in a state, in an environment where the heat is hot enough to where the result we want is guaranteed. But now, on the other hand, if the temperature is only like 150, 200, even 353 degrees, it's a state where the result we want is not guaranteed. And all these physical movements, we're activating different muscles in the body to where literally for you to not get the results, you would have to be breaking the laws of physics. I am dead serious. I have had so many students that have practiced this exercise. I've never once seen a single person not get results by doing these movements that we are doing here. In fact, this is what it did for a couple of them.
Looking out this window of life, watching the world go by. Wow, it sounds a lot better. I felt a lot better. That's amazing. That's pretty amazing. So hands up to you.
Oh,
Wow.
thank you. So isn't
I
that a little
do.
bit different than the first time you did it?
I do, yeah.
Yeah, it's a.
Well, you're kind of a genius.
Oh, thank you.
It gave me, your course gave me the power. Just 2 days. Those 2 days, man. And all the years I've been in college taking classical voice. Oh, well, you can't do this. This is what he gave you. You sing bass and you baritone and you way down here and you can never sing up there. You're not tenor. And I'm like, well, man, how do you know what I'm not? Yeah, it's like I can get the notes I want now. I can get where I want to go.
Man, that's awesome.
Hitting tenor notes like it ain't nothing. Thanks to you.
So, by the way, if you're really enjoying this training on these vocal anchors and all these different movements and want to learn even more about some specific ways on how to use them and also how to effectively use them to make sure you avoid the 3 biggest singing mistakes that plague so many singers, be sure to check out my free training in the link down below in the description called 3 Biggest Singing Mistakes That Are Getting in the Way of the Songs You Write, the gigs you perform, and the albums you attempt to record. That has helped out so many singers, and I know it is going to give you just a world of value. Because if you like this, you are absolutely going to love that training. So the next exercise here is going to be doing the same octave slide with a simple little squat. And we're doing the same thing once again to where right when we feel like we're out of breath to squeeze just that last little itty bitty bit of toothpaste out of the tube. That's when we do the squat. We don't do it a second before. It's right when you feel it's essentially like your lifeline of like, oh man, I'm almost gonna die because I'm almost out of air. Do the squat and it pushes just a little bit more out of you. Okay. Count of 3. 1, 2, 3, go. Oh man, it knocked a lot out of me. And you should be feeling the same if you're doing this the right way. Like you should really, like you should almost feel a little lightheaded at the end of this. And that's a good sign because it means you're stretching the muscles of your voice. Like don't think, oh, I'm doing something wrong. Like, no, it means you are doing the right thing. And it's totally and completely safe and healthy. Because once again, we're getting a gym workout essentially with these types of exercises we're doing, except it's nowhere near as hard as an actual gym workout. I'm quite the lazy person when it comes to going to the gym. My fitness instructor absolutely harps on me and hates me so much because I never go enough. And I invented these techniques because I was like, hey, what if there was a way that we could get the same effects of doing a super intense workout without needing to go to the gym? Because one other thing too, most people don't know is a lot of Broadway singers and a lot of other pro singers, they will actually run on treadmills, do jumping jacks, do all sorts of different acrobatics right before a show because it warms up the state of their voice so that it is in tip top shape. In fact, even Miley Cyrus, when she sang for the Super Bowl one year, she actually had a video she uploaded to social media where she was singing while running on a treadmill, practicing her whole vocal routine. And this allows you to do that while being lazy and just being in the comfort of your own home. So the other reason why these exercises are so effective is because it helps to awaken a sense of feeling inside of your own voice. Because let me ask you this, can you physically see or physically touch your voice? No, you can't. How hard do you think it would be then to play the drums if you couldn't physically see or physically touch the drums or the drumsticks? How hard do you think it would be to play the piano if you couldn't physically see or physically touch the keys? It'd be pretty difficult. It's pretty difficult to play the instrument of your voice if you cannot feel your voice. We've got blind musicians like Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder that became world-renowned musicians, even though they couldn't see their instruments, but they knew how to feel your instrument. And the more and more you do these exercises, you're going to get a greater awareness of what your voice feels like, so that the singing, the tension, all of that stuff just falls into place naturally because you know how to feel your instrument and not just hear your instrument. Okay, so a few other simple ways that you can apply this. So everything we did, from the doing stuff to out of breath, to doing a bend down, to even doing a squat, you can even do that throughout a song itself. So for example, if I wanted to sing, let's say, for example, the song Fly Me to the Moon, I could do a section of that song in cycles back and forth until I'm out of breath to really get me warmed up. So it looks something like this. Fly me to the moon, let me dance among the stars. Fly me to the moon, let me dance among the stars. Oh, fly me to... Oh. And you'll notice there towards the end, as I was running out of breath, my voice quality dipped a bit. It should be like that way as you're getting towards the end, because it means you're pushing yourself. But you know what else that means? It's teaching the muscles of your voice, oh, hey, I'm going to have to grow if I want to be able to sing these songs pain, strain, and tension free. There is so much that you're going to get out of this. Like, I love these exercises. These are literally my absolute favorite exercises to teach my students, just because I know they are so effective. So that wraps up things for today's video. Once again, be sure to check out my free training in the link in description to go even deeper on these vocal anchor concepts and really moving your voice so that you can just absolutely crush your singing goals. And also to be sure to check out the other video that YouTube is recommending for you here.